July 6, 2022. 4 a.m. An explosion occurred in Elbert County, Georgia, United States. The Georgia Guidestones, a stone structure dubbed by some as the American Stonehenge, was significantly damaged thanks to an unidentified bomber. What happened on the day of the incident is shown in the CCTV footage released by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Here, we can see a silver car racing through the darkness, leaving the scene at high speed. A huge explosion occurred shortly after. One of the granite stones was shattered into pieces, and plumes of smoke rose into the sky. The videos show the explosion in a car leaving the scene shortly after the explosion. No one was injured. Agents are still actively working to identify the person leaving the scene after the explosion. Our EOD unit made the call to demolish the entire structure since someone destroyed one of the 5 vertical slabs that held the structure up. For safety reasons, the structure has been completely demolished. Local media, including National Public Radio, released headlines such as Georgia Guidestones demolished after explosion. As a result, the mysterious stone structure that has long been the subject of conspiracy theories was completely erased from history. The news was reported all over the world, thus bringing attention back to who caused the bombing and why was the structure built in the first place. The GBI believed that the bombing was caused by someone who was unhappy with the ideologically problematic structure. On the other hand, conspiracy theorists argued that an unknown force demolished the structure for safety reasons, disguising it as an explosion. Otherwise, there was no need to rush the demolition on the very same day as the incident before police even caught the culprit. This leads us to question, what exactly is the Georgia Guidestones? And why is it still controversial, despite having been demolished? The Georgia Guidestones was some sort of stone structure built on a hill in a town in the U.S. Due to its resemblance to one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Stonehenge in England, it is sometimes referred to as the American Stonehenge. It was made from 6-meter-tall granite stones. One stone was erected in the middle, surrounded by 4 stones in all 4 directions. Another stone was placed on top. A message consisting of a set of 10 guidelines or principles was engraved on the 4 outer stones in 8 different languages, including English. The same message in ancient languages such as Babylonian, ancient Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphs was engraved on the stone placed on top. Its content was bizarre, and both the identity and the original intention of the founder are still unknown. This resulted in it being considered as a conspiracy theory icon to this day. Unlike Stonehenge, the Georgia Guidestones is not an ancient structure. Nevertheless, it was treated as a mysterious historical site as its origins and purpose of establishment are still unknown. News coverage has already tried several times to find the identity of the founder, and it was eventually revealed that a granite manufacturer based in Elbert County was commissioned by someone under the pseudonym Robert C. Christian. This is how the president of the company recalled the situation from 40 years ago. It happened in June 1979 on a Friday. Wearing a fedora on his head, a gray-haired gentleman in a suit made his way to our company's offices. He said he wanted to build a stone structure with the largest granite we could quarry. At first, I thought he was just a religious fanatic making a ridiculous order, but then he delivered a 10-page blueprint of the structure, thus changing my mind. According to an article from monthly American magazine Wired, the aforementioned mysterious gentleman claimed to represent a small group of loyal Americans before he commissioned Fendley's company to build a granite structure that would rival England's Stonehenge. As he was using an alias, the company was obviously suspicious. However, thanks to the bank reference he had received beforehand, Christian gained the company's trust by paying the construction price as a lump sum, a price that was several times higher than the company's usual projects. The blueprint he provided was surprisingly elaborate as well. It was beyond imagination. It may have looked like a simple stone structure, but every part of it required advanced architectural techniques. The center stone featured a hole drilled diagonally, through which the North Star could be observed throughout the year. The 4 outer stones were placed to mark the limits of the sun's yearly migration, as well as to observe the moon's sidereal period. Moreover, the center stone also featured a 2-centimeter small hole, which allowed a beam of sunlight to pass through at noon each day, shining on the center stone to indicate the day of the year. Simply put, the stone structure was designed to function as an all-in-one calendar, clock, and compass. On the other hand, there was something unintelligible about it. It was Christian's order to engrave a message on the stones in 8 different languages. Aside from the fact that the construction workers had never seen Sanskrit and Chinese characters before, the 10 guidelines themselves were also controversial. 1. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 2. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. 3. Unite humanity with a new living language. 4. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. 5. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. 6. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes with a world court. 7. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. 8. Balance personal rights with social duties. 9. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. 10. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. By the time the Georgia Guidestones was built in the 1980s, there were already 4.5 billion people on the planet. Today, the number of people has surpassed 7.9 billion. In this situation, maintaining a population under 5 billion means more than 90% of the current population would have to disappear. Under number 2 was interpreted as reminding people of the German Nazis' practices of eugenics, in which they attempted to alter human gene pools by excluding those judged to be biologically inferior and promoting those judged to be superior. Guide number 3 would be the most problematic, as it was interpreted as a sign of the emergence of a one-world government, as warned in the Bible. This resulted in a number of workers refusing to proceed with the construction, saying that they will not work for Satan. Some of the workers were displeased with the 10 guidelines. It was as if Satan or the devil had copied the Bible, they said. I was worried about the situation, and so I asked my client about his purpose. He said that he was making a guide for future generations. It is about leaving a guide for the remaining human race. It is the least we could do, since catastrophic events would soon occur and everything on Earth would be reset. Fendley remembered Christian as someone who was friendly, yet extremely quiet and mysterious. Despite countless suspicions and questions, Christian did not say much. He would only answer when necessary. This included matters directly related to the construction. Most of the time, it was carried out without any discussion beforehand. A typical example would be the time capsule buried beneath the Guidestones. An explanation about a time capsule buried 1.82 meters below the Guidestones, as well as the phrase, "to be opened on," are engraved on one of the stones. But strangely, no dates were engraved. When I pointed it out, he only smiled and told me to proceed. What is even stranger is the fact that we have never seen nor buried a time capsule. The Georgia Guidestones, which caused numerous misgivings and controversies ever since its construction phase, was finally unveiled to the public on March 22, 1980. At first, it did not receive that much attention, as it was only considered a simple stone monument. But soon after the unveiling of the structure, rumors that it was the altar of Satan began to spread, which resulted in devil worshippers and pagans from all over the country gathering at the site. They would dance around the stones, sacrifice animals, and perform odd rituals day and night. Thanks to the constant stench and noise, the Guidestones became a notorious local monstrosity. Locals began demanding the state demolish the structure. Some people even defaced the stones with paint and threw garbage at them. However, the locals' reactions did not stop people from showing their extraordinary interest in the structure. According to some conspiracy theorists, the Guidestones is some sort of marking. If the Guidestones are seen from the sky, it looks like a certain spot marked with the letter X. These could be coordinates sent to intelligent extraterrestrial beings in the universe. Of course, this was followed by numerous hypotheses and doubts. Among them was an argument about the existence of a shadow organization behind the establishment of the structure. The public may not be aware, but shadow organizations with great wealth and power with their possessions exist in this world. They have the power to control the government and businesses in every country. They are orchestrating a population reduction plan by building the Guidestones. In the midst of the hypotheses surrounding the structure's identity, such as the altar of Satan, the UFO landing mark, and a shadow organization's population reduction plan, local media Fox 5 Atlanta is continuing to report on the aftermath of the demolition. Here we can see Elbert County Road and Bridge using an excavator to excavate the site. As the hill was being dug up, a tape line with the length of more than 2 meters was used to measure it. A public official observed the whole process as well. As it turns out, there was nothing beneath the Guidestones. Where did the time capsule, supposedly buried by Robert C. Christian, disappear to? Could it be kept somewhere else by someone, as it is still early for it to be revealed? The mystery surrounding the now demolished Georgia Guidestones continues on. This has been Strange Night.